This podcast is sponsored by iTunes. Go to CheapSeatReviews.com, click on the iTunes banner. You may purchase anything you'd like, this movie or its soundtrack, or even the Bible, if you can purchase that from iTunes. Go to CheapSeatReviews.com, click on the banner. Part of that purchase will go directly to our podcast.
Fire consumes all. Water cleanses. It separates the foul from the pure, the wicked from the innocent, and that which sinks from that which rises. He destroys all, but only to start again.
You sure?
Yes. The storm cannot be stopped, but it can be survived.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good. Boy, it's not like I haven't said that 1,000 times before. Let's try that again. The podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good. This is episode 79, and today we are talking about 2014's Noah. I am Sean
Noah.
And joining me tonight is Chad Rock Angels Evans, which, by the way, is his AC/DC cover band name.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say that I'm really excited to be here with this podcast
Thanks,
tonight.
You're like a gravelly William Shatner. Cornelius.
But I wasn't finished.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
You interrupted me in the middle of my monologue.
So please continue.
I'm done. In a minute.
All right. Okay, you're done. Okay,
I'm done now.
Okay.
I'm really done.
Cornelius, dog dragon tastes like chicken. Logan.
They do, actually. And, I was walking down the street the other day, and I saw another one of these rock dragon dog things. And, I threw it a stick, and it spit fire at me. And I was like, whoa, it's a fire-spitting dog. And then I thought, what if I used the fire to cook that dog? And then I had the greatest hot dog ever. The end.
Plus 5 points.
Yeah, that's actually great. And Andrew, Odin's healing powers, Jimison.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Sam couldn't join us tonight. He is in the process of moving and currently at his location doesn't have internet. So he is unable to join us this week, and we wanted to have a podcast, though I kind of regret recording this movie or watching this movie for this episode. But that's okay. Andrew's here. We're going to have a good time, and we will all of us suffer through this like... I don't know, like it's like
Rockmen.
Yeah.
Rockmen.
I was gonna say something like Brussels sprouts, but like even that has like nutritional value. You know what I'm saying? Like
They're very gassy, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what is this? I mean, this is something...
It's also very gassy.
Well,
This is
yeah,
very assy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I don't know what this is. This is like eating candy that tastes bad. Like it's not only does it not taste good, but it's also bad for you. Like black licorice or something. I don't know. Anyway,
What you call me?
well, that is what we called you in college. So you know.
That's true.
So pull up a comfy chair and let's dive into this movie. Well, if you're thinking, well, no, that's the Bible, right? Well, they made a movie out of it. Of course they did, because Hollywood has run out of ideas. And in case you're wondering what this particular movie is about, Catherine said this.
Noah. This ambitious adaptation of the story of Noah depicts the visions that led him to voice dire prophecies of apocalypse and to build an ark to survive.
Ambitious. That's an interesting word. Ambitious is another word for bad. Bad or failed attempt at being interesting or creative.
Non-canon,
No,
if you will.
I mean, it's your source material is the most widely published book on the planet, and you still had to freaking Hollywood it up and make weird things happen. But before we do that, I ask the same question as This is the first time any of us has seen this movie, correct?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I usually go to the weekly showing because this is definitely in my one of those movies that I watch.
Yeah.
At least once a week. You know, I just get tired from work and just come back and just pop in some Noah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's this and Empire Strikes Back and
Beverly Hills Cop,
Nightmare Before
one of
Christmas
those.
and Noah.
And Noah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So Chad, since you watch this so often, please regale us. What is your initial thoughts? Your initial impressions?
My initial impression of this movie, one hot pile of garbage shite. Not just regular garbage or regular shite.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody were to actually eat the garbage and then shite it out.
Right. And it's still hot.
And it's still hot. Like 98.6 degrees.
Right.
That's my official opinion of this film.
Okay.
I did not like it. I was disinterested about 5 minutes into it, with all the snake magic, and I didn't buy anything that it was like, oh, the creator. They didn't use God. They just said the creator, and it was just. I mean, yeah, it's kind of one and the same, but you know what? It's kind of. It was too much away from. I hate to say it, but too much away from the book.
Right.
For me, and I couldn't like take the story, like if it was supposed to be a storytelling 2 hours of my life, like I couldn't. It was just awkward to sit through. I mean, I just didn't like it at all.
Okay.
At all.
All right.
Poor choice of movie. Minus 2 rep points.
For the podcast? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Corny.
Yep.
Your sentiments exactly, right?
So I don't really know how to approach this, but I paid attention up until about Methuselah, and that's about it.
He lived a pretty long time.
He did actually, and that's essentially they had my attention for almost a millennia. So good job.
I love it how they never really explained that. It was just he just exists, which is fine. But you could at least say it was God's will, and that would have been fine.
They don't say that in the. Well, okay. I want to make sure. I want to get something very clear up front. We are going to rip this movie a new one because it deserves it. And if you are offended by the things we say because it's based on source material such as the Bible,
you obviously haven't listened to this podcast.
One, yeah, you haven't listened to this podcast, and two, that's not our intention. Our intention is not to be flippant or whatever towards the source material, regardless of your religion or anything like that, whether you're Jewish or Christian or whatever other religion that might possibly listen to this podcast. With that being said, I don't know if there's a point in the Bible, and I also don't want to do the other thing that I think we're pretty good at, is that if we watch a movie that's based on some source material, usually a book or a comic book, we try not to compare the two. I think we try not to. Like we watched Stardust, and I had read the book and we mentioned it, but I don't want to constantly just compare back to it. I want to make sure that we rip the movie for the movie's sake on its own merit because it's worth. It is deserving of such ripping. So to your point, though, Chad, is I don't know if it's ever in the Bible where it's like, well, God said, Methuselah, you should live 900 years old, so you're going to. I don't know if that ever says that. So that's probably,
Fair enough.
I mean, Noah was 500 years old when he died, or actually 500 years old when he did the ark. So, you know, maybe we counted years differently then or something. I don't know. I don't know. Corny,
Well, it was a different
oh, wow.
time.
Yeah, it really truly was a.
It was a different time.
Yeah. So.
Which one's the real Chad? We'll
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah. Andrew. Oh, Corn, I'm sorry. Were you done?
Well, I will say this. I've had to become accustomed to watching movies because we've done our fair share of comic movies, and for that reason, I've had to learn to not pay attention because Marvel-wise, I'm pretty familiar with most of the characters that we're gonna come across, and I had to learn to just kind of let those things go and go with the movie. But from what I saw, I could honestly say that I'm not pleased with what we watched. I will say I'm more pleased than Transformers. So here we go.
I actually can't track with you on that one. I actually hated this more than Transformers, but anyway.
Ooh.
I mean, and you guys know how much I hated Transformers. I would rather watch Transformers again than this movie.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Andrew.
This is the first time I've seen this movie, and I had high hopes and expectations, but they were sorely plummeted to the bottom of the deep. And I think had they used the rock monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh, it would have been a little bit better. Or if they had used rock lobsters.
Ooh, rock lobsters.
Or
Rock
if
lobster.
they had just used the rock, I think that everything would have been better.
Just the Rock. He
Just
comes
The Rock.
out and does the
It
eyebrow.
now smells what the Rock is building.
They should use the Rock from Galaxy Quest. The rock monster from Galaxy
Oh, yeah,
Quest.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Or-
Did I like it? Not at all. I am curious as to how many animals didn't make it because some fat ass wanted to eat.
So that was one of the few moments in the movie where I kind of laughed, where he just picked up that sleeping lizard and just like bit its head off, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that was gonna be. Like, what animal that was that he just ate, or the dragon dog. That's why we don't have dragon dogs, because he got hungry and speared it or something. This was definitely the first time. Were you done, Andrew? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, this was definitely my first time viewing it. I hated this movie. I was bored. I didn't care. It's been a while since we've had a main character who I didn't care one bit about what happened to. And again, I know kind of the source material says that Noah did these things and then got drunk later on and whatever. But like, he was just a complete asshole the whole time. And I don't really know if in the Bible Noah was really just we've all seen movies where like the hero gets misinformed about something and is operating on this misinformation for the whole movie, and that's what causes the calamity or the whatever, and like the whole thing would be solved if they just had a cell phone kind of a thing. This whole movie, the whole internal conflict of this movie is based upon Noah misinterpreting God's plan by him saying all humans are supposed to die. So we are only here to build the ark to save the animals. And then once we do, we die. Like, that's it. That's the whole conflict of the movie. Because if they don't have that conflict, then it's just They all get in a boat, then they swim around for a little bit, and then they don't. So I guess that's why the director did it. But I still didn't like it. I still didn't like that whole I'm going to kill your infant child. I mean, that was horrible. Children, you're right. I mean, that part was horrible. And watching Percy Jackson's would-be wife get stomped to death like that. That was pretty horrible. Like, I mean, I kind of get why God was hitting doing a hard reset on the earth, because it was a pretty horrible place. And where they were physically living didn't seem like people could actually live there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Did I like this movie? Not one bit. I didn't care. I was bored. The rock monster things were weird and confusing, and I even had to do some research on them, and I'm still not exactly like I will tell you guys things that you'll kind of go, oh, okay, but still doesn't necessarily explain rock monsters. And I guess I'll tell you that now. So I was really curious about that. So I actually was researching the Watchers, and the Watchers actually is mentioned multiple times in the Bible as fallen angels who came down. But most of the time they're angels who came to earth and then had sex with women and then fell in love with these women. And then that's what kind of turned them into quote unquote fallen angels. And as a result of their sin, were deformed. And if there are Bible scholars out there listening to this podcast, first of all,
Bless you.
That's funny.
Second of all,
Every day.
let me know if I'm wrong, because I think from what I read, that's what happened. But they were just like deformed looking people, as opposed to these weird rock monster things.
I honestly think that watching that would have been more interesting than watching this movie. Like watching the process of the fallen angel fall in love with a woman and then get deformed. To me, that would have been more interesting than watching a skeleton ghost fall from the sky and fall into lava.
All right, and then get turned
Or
into
whatever.
my wife was watching this, as she does with me, and she looked at me and she said, "Those look like something from Middle Earth." And I'm like, "Yeah, it looks like something Peter Jackson or not Peter Jackson, but R.R. Tolkien, whatever his name is."
Okay.
I got George R.R. Martin and Tolkien screwed up. Anyway, like something that he like drew and then just said, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make the ends out of trees instead of rocks." Like that's kind of what they reminded me of. Anyway, so why they were rock, I don't know. Darren Aronofsky, the director, he has done some nice work. He won like an Oscar for Black Swan, and I think he was nominated for The Wrestler. And The Fountain was weird but good. And Requiem for a Dream was a freaking drug trip. And then he did Pi. So he's done really, really great work, and I don't know what happened with this one. I mean,
This one, I think, had all of the makings of a really good film. Like you had the talent.
Mhm.
I mean, Emma Watson.
I got some great trivia about her.
Russell Crowe, and then the chick, and then the guy with the hair, Methuselah.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins. Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins. I mean, you had the talent,
yeah.
and I mean the visual effects weren't
They were-
fantastic, but I mean it made it could was doable.
Yeah,
They had sparklers.
they did.
Yeah,
have
the
some-
hard
That was-
sparklers. I mean,
which I was confused about. Also, I didn't know that we had elements in the earth that could do that, but maybe we don't
No.
anymore. That's because of the earth or the flood.
but I mean
Well,
it
have you
had
ever-
all the.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think it had the elements, but the script was just, and the storyline was just so bad.
Well, my issue is I have many issues, but one of my biggest issues is that there's actually not a whole lot of dialogue. If you think about it, from like Noah says, basically he says three different things. He's either telling you what the creation story is, Adam and Eve, because he says that one like twice in the story, and then he talks about the flood, like what God told him about the flood, like the opening scene, the opening clip that I played, or he's gonna kill your babies. Like that's the only thing he does in the whole movie. Like there's no other dialogue. There's very other, like I literally only captured 3 clips for this whole movie because they don't talk. They just stand around and look at the animals, and then they look at the rock things, and they barely talk. There's just not a lot of dialogue in this movie, and there wasn't any dialogue that was really worth capturing. There really wasn't. There was no joy in this movie. Even at the end when God sent the rainbow, it looked like a nuclear explosion, and I was still confused. I'm like, is God nuking the earth? What's happening? There was no joy in this movie. This movie is devoid of hope and joy, and I thought that was what the point of the Noah story was, is that God has taken all the horrible things of the earth and done a hard reset, and now we're going to have life and joy and happiness, and we're going to take care of each other now. And that I never got that theme. You know what the theme I got was? Eating meat is bad. That's the only theme I got of this whole movie, is that if you eat meat, you're a horrible person.
Then I am a damned horrible
I
person.
mean, we all are. We all eat chicken wings. I mean,
I was eating while I watched it, and I had a little guilt.
I just
Did you put a little bit of mayonnaise on that guilt?
Yep.
Hell yes.
and deep fried it.
So, I know what you mean.
Ha ha. I kind of wish I had that Stewie Griffin ha ha thing that he doesn't. Anyway, what did I write? I don't know. Rock monsters meet Ents meet the thing is what I wrote. I thought Anthony Hopkins looked really really old, and I know he's supposed to be playing a 967-year-old man, but he literally looked like the human version of what Yoda should look like.
His hair reminded me, since I watched the interview again a couple days ago, reminded me of the scene where Rob Lowe takes his wig off.
Nice. Yeah. He's like a human version of Gollum or something. I mean, he looked rough, but he was supposed to. And I did like how he finally found that berry and then died.
Take seed.
Right?
Kill children.
Did you guys notice that you could see the stars during the day?
Yeah.
I was really weirded out by that.
Well, no, I mean they were on the screen. Russell Crowe and okay.
Well, supposedly stars used to be brighter, and they're dying out.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yes, sir.
Is that real? Really?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Oh. That doesn't seem real. Like, that doesn't seem real. In just a couple thousand years, they wouldn't change that much. That just seems strange. Maybe because there's, like, no pollution, and so the ozone's cleaner or something? I don't know. It was full daylight, and I was seeing stars. It just seems strange.
And they never explained that.
Yeah.
It was, like, really dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, all they had to do was just say, like, and the stars are so bright because
Because there's no pollution? I don't know.
Well, I guess they couldn't say that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Our atmospheric composition is different than it will be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they explain it, but I don't know. It was distracting me. It literally, I mean, in a movie that I didn't care about at all, I was like, why am I seeing stars? It's bright on this horrible, desolate place.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Why was there I'm sorry. I know there's quote unquote no pollution, but there's green water and dark skies. I mean, that screams wasteland.
The whole planet was a wasteland.
Yeah, the whole planet was a dump. I mean, they ruined it.
How? I mean, literally, how?
Yeah, they ruined it worse than we have in a shorter amount of time. I mean,
they had neon green water. Even in our worst water, it just turns brown.
Right.
Can I just ask a
you haven't seen the water
glaring question?
You haven't seen the water in Rio yet. What's that, Chad?
I just want to ask this huge glaring question.
Please.
Okay, so Adam and Eve, they were created.
They were.
Okay.
And apparently they were glowing.
They had 3 kids.
Yep.
Cain, Abel, and Seth.
All right.
Okay. According to the movie. I'm not going all theological here.
Okay.
Okay. They're the only ones on the planet.
I know the question you're going to ask.
Word.
And then Cain kills Abel.
He
We all
does.
know this.
He does, yeah.
Cain's the meat eater. And then he runs away.
Yeah.
And then starts the civilization.
Yep.
That's kind of like the underpants gnomes. You know, from South Park, the underpants gnomes. You know, they have three. It's a 3-step process. 1, collect underpants. 2, 3, profit.
What was 2?
3, profit.
Okay. Either you're saying things that I'm not supposed to hear, or your internet's cutting out.
No, that's
Or is that part of the joke? Because I don't watch
yes.
South Park.
You poor man.
I don't watch it. I've never watched it. I've never found it funny. I watched the World of Warcraft episode because that was us.
That was hilarious.
When we were in college, that was the way we were. Not in college, but after college. And I watched the movie, and the only part that I thought was funny was when Cartman went all Super Saiyan. Other than that,
Yeah.
I have no desire to ever watch South Park ever. So
anyway, the joke is,
I'm sure it's funny to some people.
You got these little gnomes, and they go around and they collect underpants. They don't know the reason why. But their great business plan is step 1, collect underpants. Step 2 is a big question mark.
Oh, okay.
But step 3 is profit.
Oh,
So
okay.
going back, leading into what I was just talking about with this movie. So Cain leaves. Big question mark.
Are we having Foley
Yeah,
work, or
that
did somebody
happens.
drop something?
Sorry.
Is that your duck call again?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Quit playing with your cell phone.
So Cain leaves, and then he starts a
Cain
civilization, and the question you're asking, of course, is how?
How?
I don't, without getting in the theologicalness behind it, I don't know. If you're looking at the movie, I don't know.
I've seen Jurassic Park, and the life
Finds a way.
will find a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, did you guys notice something really interesting about this movie? Did this movie is stating that evolution is a thing? Did you guys notice that?
Mm-hmm.
When Noah is doing his spiel about on the second day he did this thing, and the third day he did this thing, and as he's talking, the camera is doing that thing where it's like just taking images and then mashing them together to create like motion, but it's not actually motion. And it showed the water, and then the little cell, and then the cell multiplied, and then it turned into a minnow, and then it turned into a fish. So, and then the fish crawled out and then turned into a thing, and then it turned into a thing, and then it turned into a monkey, and then we had Adam and Eve. And I'm like, this movie literally just said that evolution is a thing, but it was all done by a creator, which is what drives a lot of people crazy. That's not true. But I jokingly put in my my notes that this was very much like the Methodist Church. I grew up Methodist. Methodist Church is very what's the word I'm looking for? Non-literal. And the Methodists are very, what we would call the extreme middle of the fence. Like if Southern Baptists are the far right, Methodists are the extreme middle. Don't be gay, but if you are, it's okay. You know? Whereas Southern Baptists say, don't be gay or you're going to hell, kind of a thing. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is I thought this movie was interesting that they made that kind of, you know, hey, we're just going to sneak in the fact that evolution is a thing while, and I've had this talk with a lot of friends of mine who are like science type people as well as theological type people, especially our other friend Andrew, who was a preacher's kid, who said, who's to say that when he created the second day, it wasn't millions of years, you know, who's to say? So anyway.
Well, you know, I think if if I can quote George Carlin for a second.
Please
Do. Please do.
always
And
every episode
well, I'll wait. I think we should do that. We should have a quote George Carlin.
as long as it's appropriate.
I think
Yeah,
this is kind of it might be a slight of a stretch,
Stupid
but
effing book.
Right.
yeah. So he says, quote, "Tell people that there's an invisible man in the sky who created the universe, and the vast majority will believe you. Tell them the paint is wet, and they have to touch it to be sure."
It's so true. That is perfect. If that wasn't such a long ass quote, it'd be the title of the episode. The paint is wet. There it is. Yes. What else was I going to say? Oh, I finally figured it out. I finally learned their secret. You know, the Catholics do that swingy thing with the incense coming out.
Oh, the smoke purse?
They're trying to put us to sleep. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put us to sleep so they can steal our money. Pope, just stop it. I know what you're doing now because they showed us in this movie what you're doing. I think this is one of the clips I played because it was one of the few I'm going to capture because this is one of the only moments in the movie where I chuckled.
The snakes are coming too?
All that creeps, all that crawls, all that slithers.
It's all right.
That's it. That's the only fun in the whole movie right there. Because there's snakes and bugs and they're freaked out about it. My wife didn't like it, but there you go. My wife was like, could you just go find the 2 mosquitoes and be done with it? But, you know, why couldn't crazy bearded man just eat those things? Anyway. Did you guys notice that crazy camp was like the last car of Snowpiercer?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, I think like they were eating people. Like, were they not eating people or did I miss that?
No, I think they were.
It's what it seemed like. It was Soylent Green or something was happening. It was really strange. Didn't know Methuselah could heal people.
I didn't know he had a lightsaber.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome.
He had a lightsaber?
That sword, that glowing sword.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he did. No, it wasn't a lightsaber. It was the not the Arkenstone. It's the thing that they were trying to fight over in Guardians of the Galaxy. You know the purple Infinity Stone that they get in Guardians of the Galaxy? All he has to do is just touch the planet with it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's what he had.
Oh, yeah. The heart of the ocean. Yeah.
Right. Man, we are all over the place on this one.
I'll never let go. Die, bitches.
Right. So one of the points that I've made when I was talking, when people were like, "Hey, what movie are you doing this week?" and I said, "Well, we did Noah," and people look at me and go, "Why would you do that?" And I'm like, and I have no answer for them, you know, because like I think we said last week when we were talking about Transformers, we're like, our mission here is to watch movies, and sometimes it's our mission to watch shitty movies and then tell you that they're terrible. In this case, I think we just all suffered, and that there's really no point because I think everyone else knew that this was a bad movie. So anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, so the point I was trying to make is that like when all of us were in like Sunday school, when we were in Sunday school, and they talk about this story again, trying not to get too theological, but when they tell this story, it's always hopeful, you know. I think I mentioned this earlier. Maybe I'm repeating myself. If I am, I'm sorry. It was, you know, it was like God, you know, time to do. There was no. I guess the point I'm trying to say once again that this movie had no joy and it made me sad. That's what I was trying to. I wrote that quote. I literally put that in my notes like 3 times in this my. I only wrote like 12 notes, and I put that like 3 times. Like apparently that really affected me. I apologize. I did write Mountain Ex Machina because you know if it wasn't for the mountain, that guy was about to get the knife and go stabby.
Oh, Mr. Stabby Stabby.
Yeah, King Crazy. Yeah, and also the King Crazy guy, how he could stow away for 9 months and no one noticed. I thought that was pretty crazy too. The only other clip that I captured, I labeled it as the anti-Independence Day speech.
You can't be gone! come from the heaven. This rain is meant to wash us off the face of this world. But we are men. We decide if we live or die. We are men. And men united are invincible. Do you want to live? We kill the giants. We kill Noah. We take the ark.
I'm
Why didn't they just build a boat?
If I was,
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat, mother.
yeah, it's so funny you said that. Like, they spent how many months? Because they got there, saw that Noah was building that thing, and then they spent like the next. It seemed like a long time. I mean, it was long enough for like kid to go from like child to like an adult. Like, I mean, like they were there for a while. Yeah, like start building boats. Anyway, that's what happens when you start thinking, Chad. In a
Just
bed,
saying.
Too busy
in a-
eating.
in a movie.
It was like my family at Thanksgiving. They're too busy eating to do anything,
Right.
you know.
Creating death pits and things like that. It's just anyway. I wrote 0 tropes because frankly I didn't care enough to look. It seems I don't want to seem so apathetic towards this movie, but maybe because we've seen 2 really bad movies in a row that I'm just kind of over it a little bit. I just didn't care about this movie at all, and I feel bad for anyone that's listening to this episode that we forced to watch this movie. Again, if you have religious convictions toward this movie and this is your favorite movie, I'm sorry. Sort of. But I didn't like it. You know what I do? Please, Andrew, before I do the Audible promo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did like the. There was one scene that I really liked when they were getting ready to kill that dragon dog. Did you catch that clip that that he?
You know what? What the hell? Yeah, you know when they actually did shoot the dragon dog, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he I don't think he knew that things had happened to said dog. Why can't here it is?
If you kill my dog, I swear to God, I'll get really mad.
Yeah, his accent got really strange there for some reason. I don't know what's happening.
Well, it's the perfect accent for a guy who would be,
And then, but they did actually kill the dog. So then, under his breath to his children, he said,
I don't think you understand. These boys killed my dog.
So then he's ready to go after them.
Dragon dog.
Dragon dog.
They
killed my.
I
dragon
figured
dog.
since I'm playing the role of Sam tonight, I would mention Jurassic Park and request the clip.
I appreciate that. That's good. We did, however, have a.
They're building a boat.
With Rockman.
Doing stuff.
Yeah. I didn't finish the tune. Yeah, I just. audibletrial.com/cheapseat reviews is not bad or terrible or useless. You can get a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/cheapseat reviews. Trivia. There's actually some pretty good trivia, and one of these is my favorite. And you'll see if you can figure out which one. Russell Crowe explained his characterization of Noah as not necessarily having to be nice. Quote, the funny thing with people being, they consider Noah to be a benevolent figure, because he looked after the animals. Are you kidding me? This is a dude who stood by and let the entire population of the planet perish. End quote. And that's why he portrayed him as a kind of an asshole. So, and it changed. That was the point I was trying to make a little bit ago. This movie is so freaking dark when we like the boat's out there and you hear people screaming for their lives and dying, and it was damn depressing. But I guess
Biblical Detroit.
yeah.
Biblical Detroit.
According to Darren Aronofsky, the Watchers' designs were inspired by 3 images: the 6-winged seraphim angels, a seagull trapped in oil, and a ballet dancers with blocks attached to their feet. Quote, these are angelic formed creatures. What? These are angelic formed. Damn, I can't read. These are angelic forms captured, malformed, that's a word, imprisoned by the earth, winged creatures who got encased and had to use their wings as arms and legs. End quote. Sorry. Easy for him to say, not for me to read. Prior to the film being released in any country, Noah was banned in Bahrain, Qatar, and the UAE as it's the United Arab Emirates, for those of you who don't know your Central Africa geography, as the local government said it would contradict the teachings of Islam. The film has also been banned in Egypt for similar reasons, as it violates Islamic law and could provoke the feelings of believers.
I wish they would have banned it here, too.
What, Chad?
Don't they have instead of it being Noah, isn't it the Epic of Gilgamesh? Nothing?
No.
Nothing?
Sorry.
Crickets?
Yep.
Bueller?
One of the differences between...
Go read a book.
One of the movies, difference between
Stupid
this
effing
movie...
book.
I can't find it fast enough.
Stupid book.
There you go.
That's what she said.
And then he said this.
Tits.
Anyway, sorry. If I can find a way to sneak that one in, I will, even though it's not appropriate. One of the differences between this movie and the flood account in Genesis, one of the differences, is that in the old story, each of Noah's sons brought a female companion aboard the ark. Whereas in this movie, Shem brings Ea, but Ham and Japheth have no one. Also in the Bible, all three sons are adults and not children. But we have to have conflict somehow. And lastly, the kissing scene. This is my favorite one. The kissing scene was shot, when Emma Watson realizes that she can have kids and she runs to what's his face. The kissing scene was shot in so many repeated takes that Emma Watson was left with bleeding lips and Douglas Booth was nursing a sore nose and swollen mouth. I would risk all of that to kiss Emma Watson. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
She's very tiny. I'm afraid I'd mistake her for food.
I think you wouldn't when you got near her because she's pretty...
I'm pretty hungry.
She's kind of hot.
Don't underestimate my belly.
Well, that's fair. But still, she's pretty. That's it. Soundtrack, I actually gave it a PG for pretty good. It was actually one of the better parts of this movie. It was epic. It was sweeping. It was kind of flowing like water and stuff. It was actually pretty good.
Hey Sean, don't rock the boat there with your.
Mine's 2 points.
Yeah.
I'm still +3. Cheers.
What did we learn with this movie? Well, even the source material like the Bible, Hollywood will still screw it up. That's what we learned. And now we're on to this. Top 3. We decided to do Russell Crowe movies. So basically, it's going to be Gladiator and 2 other movies. Chad. There he goes. Hold on, Chad.
What was that, Optimus? Say it again, please.
Oh, Chad. Chad.
What?
There you go. All right.
What?
I don't get it.
I don't either, pal.
Where were we? Oh yeah, Gladiator, and I know that a lot of people don't like it, but Les Mis, I really liked him as Javert.
I liked him
can't
until
sing
he
worth a
sang.
shit,
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing. I liked him until he started singing.
They literally could have picked any other actor, and they would have been able to sing better than he can sing.
Oh yeah. All right. So Chad's back, and you were about to defend Javert with Russell Crowe.
No, I really can't.
Okay.
I mean, the singing was obviously not good.
Yeah.
However, Hugh Jackman in there was awesome. I really liked that.
He was actually great. And Anne Hathaway was on screen for 3 minutes and still won an Oscar.
I know, right?
So you picked. So yeah, we got. So that movie, Gladiator, and what was your third?
A Beautiful Mind.
Ah, yeah. Very good. Andrew. No, Corny. Sorry.
Yes. All right. I'm going to go with Man of Steel.
All right. He was pretty good as Jor-El.
Yep.
It was actually one of the better parts of that movie.
Number 2, Beautiful Mind. And Gladiator.
I'm actually ashamed to say I've never seen A Beautiful Mind.
Really?
I haven't either.
I need to say it. Andrew.
I have an honorable mention of Magic Mike.
He's not in Magic Mike.
Well, it is a movie. It is a movie about dicks. So
I mean, if you're continuing the Sam theme of just picking a random movie that the wrong actor is in.
Well, I haven't said Joe Pesci yet. So.
Yeah. So yeah, he was in Goodfellas, and
No, but seriously, number 3, Gladiator. No, I'm sorry. I wrote that down as my honorable mention because I actually didn't like Gladiator that much. But number 3, Master and Commander.
I'm gonna have to take your man card.
You mean Masturbator and Commander?
Yes, Masturbator and Commander. Number 2 was Man of Steel, because he was a pretty good Gerald, and
Gerald
or Ja Rule or whatever you want to call it.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Ja Rule.
And then my number 1 was Robin Hood. His version of Robin Hood. I really like that.
I did too. That's actually pretty much mine, Andrew. Master and Commander, Robin Hood, and then Gladiator. All 3 period pieces. He's better in the period pieces. But I heard I've not seen A Beautiful Mind, so I don't know. Yeah. We have email.
What?
2 weeks in a row, email.
That's bull.
Hey.
It's kind of great, right? It's also from Jen again.
Son of a... I mean, yay!
Yay, Jen. Okay, here we go. You made the request. This is from our friend Jen, our female listener. You made the request, so I'm here to offer up a few horror movie sacrifices for your October viewing. Okay? All right, so I'm going to pull up our movie list here.
Yeah.
Let's see what we've got. All right? Here we
At
go.
least one chick flick, so that'll be scary enough.
Monsters by Edward. Indie-style monster movie, pretty fun. Didn't someone else request that?
Jen did.
Did she last week or the week before?
Yes,
okay.
she did.
Children of the Corn, just for corny, just for
Mother.
We've already done that one, so either she doesn't know that or she's just being mean.
I think she's just being mean.
She's being mean.
Yeah. Saw. The first one spawned a bunch of sequels that aren't as clever or interesting as the first. This one is pretty much less gore and a lot more WTF. In fact, the guy who directed it, created it, edited it, and was like, I have a PG-13 movie, and then went back and then just added a bunch of gore and blood to make it R. The Babadook. I can almost guarantee that none of you have seen this one, but it's an amazingly scary movie. Straight out of Australia, this one will keep you up at night. And The ABCs of Death, an interesting compilation of horror movies and directors, each given a word that corresponds to a letter of the alphabet. They can make shorts of each. Then they make shorts of each. It's fascinating in so many ways. Keep up the good work, boys, Jen.
Ooh, I like that one.
Huh.
That sounds interesting.
That does sound interesting.
So we'll have to start seeing if some of these are on streaming, and some of them will make the list. We will not watch Children of the Corn again. So don't you worry, Corny. I don't want to watch that movie either ever again.
There are some sequels out there.
Nope.
There are a bunch of sequels. I don't want to watch them either. So
no, I'm all aboard the Nope train.
Corny, you're safe on that one. If I have anything to say,
I'm gonna come home with a whole big old case of hell no.
That's right.
Speaking of horror movies, I watched the other day Teeth, about the girl who has teeth in her vagina.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
why?
Why did he watch it, or why does she have them?
Well, I'm going to tell you why I watched
why?
it. I watched it because, like 10 years ago, I saw this movie sitting on the table of Sean Blankenship's apartment. And I said, "What is this movie?" And he said, "Dude, you got to watch it. It's creepy as hell." And I said, "Okay." And so I saw it on Netflix, and I thought, I'm going to watch this. I was
mistake was made.
It was everything I expected it to be.
Were you horrified?
No, I wasn't. And I also saw Zombievers.
Oh my god! We've been told to do that one, by the way. It's not on our list, but it has been requested of us, and
And that one did keep my attention. Actually, it was pretty good.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
It sounds worse than it is, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was
worse than Poltergeist?
No,
Think about it.
No. Poltergeist is way worse than I would actually watch Zombievers again.
Oh, okay. Huh?
All right. It's on the list.
Yeah.
Zombievers. My God. All right. Okay. Thanks again, Jen. What are we doing next week? Next week? Well, I'll just say this. Right now, the only one that we've guaranteed to do for October is the Fantastic Fear of Everything, because AOL Jeff asked us to do that one a while ago. And then we'll have to sit down with the group of us and determine our October listings. If there are any more requests, please email them, just like Jen did, to CheapSeat Reviews.
Thanks, Jen. You're beautiful as you are. Wonderful.
Can I request that we watch Exodus? Because it's by Ridley Scott as well. And if it's anything like Noah, it's going to be pretty good.
Exodus?
Yeah, he literally did Exodus after he did Noah.
It's not streaming, though.
I think. Or it came out the same year.
Yeah, I know it came out the same year, which was is that weird thing that Hollywood does when they have to like do the same thing. That one's got Christian Bale in it.
Oh, so right there, it's pretty crazy.
I've actually been told that Exodus is worse than Noah.
Wow.
Yeah. I that sentence just came out of my mouth.
IMDb gave it no. They rated it higher.
I was just joking, by the way.
Yeah, and it's not streaming anyway. But that's okay.
Thank the gods. Thank the creator.
The creator, yeah. So next week, however, we are doing Maverick.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Maverick.
yes.
Yeah, the Mel Gibson joint with Jodie Foster and James Garner.
Your security isn't worth a damn, Coop. Everybody in this boat has a gun.
Everybody's got a gun. See, we need some joy on this podcast because it's been devoid of it for a while.
Well, speaking of Jodie Foster, anybody else waiting for a hello, Noah? Welcome to my cave.
No.
Oh, should have. I did.
Do you know what he was doing while he was in that cave?
I was eating pie.
That's what he's doing. There you go.
Nice.
Oh, I just realized I did that. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. I was gonna keep one of the Transformers clips, and I deleted it by accident.
Because your body couldn't allow it.
No, because I only wanted to keep that one. That one. Which one is it? I don't know.
The one with the thing?
We can just have Chad read it at about 45 minutes in.
Oh, that sounds great. Oh, yeah.
Honor.
Nope, not that one. It doesn't matter. But it does. Damn it. Anyway, so we're gonna be doing that movie next, Maverick. I'm very excited about it. We've got some other actually good movies coming up. I'm serious. There should actually be some pretty good ones coming up.
There's like
Alien bomb!
oh god,
Alien
oh
bomb
god.
coming through! Clear the way! Clear the way! Hi, kids. Coming through, ladies! Excuse me! Excuse me, ladies! Excuse me! Oh my god! How do you say get the out of the way in Chinese?
That's what I wanted to play. I should just capture out that last part. Anyway, yeah. So we're doing Maverick, and then we've got The Enemy at the Gates coming up after that, which is another good flick, and then then The Family coming up, which I've not seen, and
That one is good.
and then The Batman. No, Batman's coming up. The original Michael Keaton Batman. Where does he get those wonderful toys? It's coming up. So that's what's coming up on Cheap Seat Reviews. We got some good movies where I'm putting away some of the bad stuff. We're gonna watch some good stuff. And if you want us to watch some good stuff, please send in your requests. We would love to hear that. So, Chad, out of 10.
Hi. Out of 10.
And whatever you guys do for the math, I'm going to make sure that this thing scores lower than Age of Extinction because I hated it that much.
I'm going to have to give it a 3.
That's what you gave Age of Extinction.
Did I?
You sure did.
2.5.
Okay. 2.5. Corny.
I'm gonna make you work for this, Sean.
All right.
I'm kidding. I'm gonna give it a 2. Um, I still enjoyed this better than I did Age of Extinction, just easily.
I just can't go there.
Still shite.
Age of Extinction, it was at least pretty. Like there was pretty cars and pretty robots and the pretty girl. Like,
I hate that movie. Oh God, I hate that movie so much.
I did too, but like, I mean, at least I wasn't. Well, I kind of was bored. But Stanley Tucci, at least, I mean, Stanley Tucci is what brought it to a 3.25.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Still the only movie we've watched where I honestly, except for Children of the Corn, where
you gave it a 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew.
I will give it 2 Methuselah Kamehamehas to the gut. Yeah, 2.
Well, my task is tough. I don't know if I can do this mathematically, but you know what? I just dislike this movie so much. So I don't know if what I gave like Poultrygeist or anything like that, but I'm just gonna give it a 1. That's it. It's just gonna get a big fat 1, and it's only getting a 1 because Emma Watson was in it and she's pretty. Like that's it. That's the only part. I just no joy, no love, no care, just whatever. Russell Crowe, go.
I should have given it a 9.
Go do Robin Hood 2, and we'll be happy.
Robin Hood harder.
Robin Hood, yeah, Robin Hooder. I don't think that's a thing.
This time he's in Compton.
That's right. He's straight out of Compton. I've been loving all those straight out of memes. Those have been hilarious. At least I think they're hilarious.
I saw one that said straight out of condoms the other day. It was a picture of a baby in black and white.
Nice. That's not inappropriate at all.
No, not at all.
Corny, you're the winner. Good job.
Damn right.
Oh, real quick before Leonard Bernstein rocks us away here. Movies we're watching. Anybody watched anything recently? Because I have things to say.
Other than Ant-Man, I watched it for a 3rd time with my boy.
Yeah.
And we had a great time. It was the first time I took him to see a Marvel movie in theaters. So that was a fun time had by all. He ate a hell of a lot of popcorn. That's going to be a giant-ass kid.
Yeah, he's going to be a big boy. Anybody else seeing anything recently?
I saw Pixels.
Yeah? Was it as terrible as
How
everyone
was that?
says it is?
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, it was better than some of his other Addams Family crap, but it wasn't good.
A lot of people, what I'm hearing is the reason why they hated it was because he did a disservice to like the video games that we grew up on.
Yeah.
That's a shame. Chad, you watching anything, or you're just hanging in there? So
just hanging in there.
In the last week and a half, I have seen the new Mission Impossible movie, which was fan-flippin-tastic. I loved it. I loved it almost as much as I loved Ghost Protocol, and I really liked Ghost Protocol. I thought Ghost Protocol was a fantastic movie. And so the new one was great. And then I watched Turbo, that little cartoon thing with the fast snail. Whatever. It was whatever. Declan liked it. Fine. And then we watched Home with... the alien, the Boov, that's voiced by Jim Parsons, who's basically doing an alien version of Sheldon.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cute movie. And then I watched The Fantastic Four.
Preach.
This movie is so disappointing on a number of levels.
It's like Sam's prom night.
Oh, he's not even here to defend himself. It made no sense. There's hardly any action scenes. There's really only one. Von Doom is supposedly like one of the universe's greatest villains in the Marvel universe, and he's regulated. He kind of looks like a green Darth Vader. Like he's wearing a mask and you can't see his face, and he's on screen as Von Doom for like 7 minutes and then dies. Spoiler, and he dies like a punk. Just sucks. The only thing good about it is the thing actually looked kind of cool. That's about it. It just sucked. And when the director is telling you on Twitter not to go watch his movie, there's something to be said about that.
Wow.
Because the studio took his edit and then changed it. Because like in the previews, there was that scene where the thing drops out of the airplane and then crashes down. That's not in the movie. Like the only action scenes except for the finale where they defeat Von Doom are in montages of the thing as a military weapon. Is that a thing, Corny? Did they use the thing as we're going to deploy you as a military deterrent, and they send him over to Iraq and Iran and like he was tearing tanks in half? Is that a thing?
I don't know if that's the thing, but usually the Fantastic Four went off-world and did other things, and no, I mean, I can't say that's not, but that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, and Reed Richards was like a dick the whole time.
That does make sense.
Yeah, you said that today, but it didn't make sense in the context of the movie. Like the whole time the movie, he's this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, I want to do right by everybody and by science and humanity, and then but the other thing that pisses me off in this movie, I'll be done in just a second, is you guys have all seen the movie where, not the movie, but movies where someone is doing a thing with the intentional purpose of protecting someone else, right? Like I'm going to kick the dog so the dog goes away so I can protect the dog because Crazy Joe over there is going to shoot him with a shotgun. You know what I'm talking about? You guys understand the thing I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In this movie, Reed leaves because he knows that the government is going to use him as a weapon, and he doesn't want to be a part of that. So he goes off secretly so he can work on a cure to save everyone. That's the plan. And it's obvious that that's the plan. Why else would he leave and not come back? But the three of them are just like, oh, he left us all alone, and we're all by ourselves, and he's a jerk, and so we all hate him. What? And then when he comes back, the government captures him and brings him back. They're all mad at him. It takes him like having to defeat Doom and saying that stupid line where like he's stronger than each of us, but he's not stronger than all of us. Anyway. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. Anyway, that's what I watched recently. But that's okay. You may visit our website at CheapSeatReviews.com. Please like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/CheapSeatReviews. You may follow us on Twitter at CheapSeatCast. I am at Sean J. Allred. At Sneegy16 is Sam. At Johnny Darker 16 is Corny. At Maestro _Evans is Chad. I don't know yours, Andrew. I'm sorry.
It's at A. Jemison.
A. Jemison.
Any Jemison will work.
At Ann Jemison? A. Jemison.
A. Jemison, yeah.
Okay, cool. Please send us your emails to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. I think that's going to do it for us because the floods are coming, the storm is coming, winter is coming, and
hopefully better movies are coming.
Hopefully better movies are indeed coming. I can promise you that because Maverick is a fun, good time, and I will have 1,000 clips to play next week because there's just so much fun and happy and racist Indians, and it's just going to be a good time. Sorry. So with all that being said, thank you for listening so much. Thank you for sticking it out. Next week will be episode 80. I can't believe it. It's just awesome. So on behalf of Corny, Chad, and Sam, who is not here but wishes he was, and Andrew, again, thank you for filling in as you do. This is Sean saying good night, good morning, good day. Thank you for listening. You guys are awesome. And, watch out for rock monsters.
Rock monster.
Noah.